Oh, it's on. I didn't even know I was on. I was looking to see if I was on. So, hi everyone. Today the clocks have gone forward, so I've started early. I haven't even started at 5. I said between 5 and 7, but I've just felt to be on here early today because I am organised in such a big way today. Because this is the 4th live that I'm doing, so I'm getting used to it. And I just wanted to be here. This mic, because my tripod is in the way, I can't get this mic the way I want it. So excuse me, I have to fix it. Let's leave it there. Hi, how are you, everyone? This live will stay on. Great. Actually, maybe it's too close to my face. But never mind. Let's see. It can stay there. So I hope you're fine. So today's show is identity alignment today. Okay, so become her through small actions is what the live is about today. And remember, it's micro concept steps that I'm still doing, a series. I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this series for, but as long as possible, because I understand it's all about building, yes, and we need to keep understanding what self-concept steps are about in order for us to really grasp the concept, because it is going to be beneficial. I know it's beneficial for me, and it's a work in progression as well, because sometimes life can just drag us around, and we don't want that. We want life to be in the situations that we know is going to benefit us, yes, making it more easy for us to grasp the life that we're living, to keep the life that we are living intact, and to be on top of it. And if you're practicing anything like activities, you know, a course, a hobby, in order to transition into a business, or to, you know, maybe put on some type of class, or to transition into realizing who you are as a woman, you know, because it could be something totally new, then self-concept steps are for you. Because at the end of the day, we all need to take the steps. We cannot go from A to Z. I say this all of the time. We have to start with the steps. It's the only way forward. So I just want to show you my cup because I want to drink now. My throat is a bit dry. See, it's got Diva Glitz on it. So happy. My other mug got broken. I think my daughter broke it, but never mind. So I will buy another one. So let me just drink that because got to hydrate. And I'm basically trying to get my house in order, which I speak about a lot, but it's not. Now I'm understanding that it's about designing it. So this is where I'm at now, and it's not a small job. It's going to be, basically, I was looking at wallpaper, and I don't know if it's going to be this place either, because like I said, I've been looking to manifest a new place. So I know I had to be patient with myself to get aligned with this situation, because I'm basically done. I really want a new place, but for me it's just taken long. But I was listening to someone today, a speaker, and they were saying, when you are like basically manifesting richness, you cannot feel like anything's taken long. So I was very grateful for that, because I was feeling within myself that, you know, I'm not, but you'll get these thoughts. I'm not good enough. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to manifest. I'm stuck here forever. So this is just some of the thoughts I was having. And to be honest, that's just going to mash up the whole situation, because when it comes to self-concept steps, we have to take, like you said, the positive steps. And when those positive steps aren't there, we have to practice. So this is what wasn't happening with me with manifesting my new home. And I was watching a video the other day, and it was 2 years old. And I was talking about this, not about house, this is about holidays. And I was talking about manifesting the holidays. But what it was is I didn't have the right information at the time. So now I've found the right speakers, and I've been listening and listening for quite a few years with these speakers. It's not to say it was the wrong speakers before. It's just that these speakers that I've got, because everyone's relevant, I don't want to put anybody down because everyone's beautiful, but these speakers I have now, because I was manifesting and materializing a lot with the other speakers, but when it came to the holidays and the house, which I needed, because you need a rest, you need to recreation, you need to live in a really nice home, and this house I'm in, too much to do. And even if I was thinking to myself the other day, if I had the money, would I renovate it? I'm thinking, no, I wouldn't. I would move to somewhere that is completely interiored. You know, got the nice doors, already got the nice bathroom. Just this house is just not got that. Okay, so I wasn't manifesting the new home, so I was feeling upset about it because obviously in life, it would just turn up. Something would just happen. Do you see what I mean? It would just come your way. And there was just no movement with me. You see? Not even looking at homes. Not knowing where I want to live either. So and money as well was obviously an issue for me. And I needed to manifest because I was constantly doing work. And I wasn't getting even that as well, I wasn't getting the financial results that I wanted as well. So I didn't have enough in order to move. And then I didn't know if I wanted to move from this house as well. So when you want something more that is more of a, higher caliber, I was looking at that, but it wasn't coming forward. And then I don't want to, because I'm stumbling my words, because I don't want to talk about exactly my life and what I'd had produced and what had been carrying on with me in order for me to get, money, etc., and to move. I understand as a whole, the plan that I put in place hadn't materialized, because I had a plan for everything, to get the house, the money, the holiday. It was a plan, and it was a good plan, and I had been putting the work in, basically. So that's what I basically want to say. And so I wasn't able to apply the manifestation. It wasn't happening. So I went on a downward spiral, and that downward spiral, I got stressed, I got sick, because I'm just not seeing what I believed was mine. Obviously, because this is just getting too much now, what I'm saying, because I'm really trying to get to my point for people to understand that if you cannot get to what you want, you will feel the opposite end of yourself, and then obviously you won't be able to get to where you want to get to. And that's what happened to me. And then the right information came my way, and it's helping me to understand I've got to forget about the past now, because it's not relevant anymore. And what was in my life then was supposed to be there, and I was supposed to be here in this home as well. It wasn't time for me to move. I do not know why. I do not understand it. And I cannot question it anymore, because I was producing, I was doing digital product, I was doing my music. There was a lot of things that I was manifesting, and maybe it would have been too much for me to move. Who knows? I do not understand that. Even with the holidays, because now I'm going away abroad on the 5th of March. I manifested a holiday, and I will be going on a lot more. So I had a bit of a vision yesterday, it's happened now because you was doing such and such before. So it wasn't my focus. Yes? And really and truly, it should have been my main focus, because this is what I needed more. So you have to understand with micro concept steps, you need to know your priorities and your order. This is what basically I've had to sift through everything I'm saying before because it's a lot. If you can hear me, there's a lot going on. So if I prioritize, say, YouTube, and I prioritize social media first, then I would have manifested the money that I needed. Then I would have been able to move. But from my old self, I was trained to do too much worker mentality. I wasn't trained to be nice to myself. I was trained to work rigorously. I wasn't trained to love myself. So I was on my self-love journey. I made a self-love digital product. So I was on a self-love journey as well. So I hadn't transitioned from that old self yet to understand how to love me. Yes? So all this manifestation that I'm wanting in order to live a better life could not come forward because I still didn't understand how to live that life. So this is what micro concept steps are. And the practices during the micro concept steps is you zoning in on really what is important. So now I do my micro concept steps and I can really look at, because that's what it's really about, focusing and really look at what I really need to prioritize on. Because the old way of thinking will always be there because that is who you are at present. Yes? So this is why it's very important to do micro concept steps every single day, because you will be still living the life that you want to live. So now with the home that I'm moving in, I see it every day. I believe it more. I don't second guess myself from the past and say, oh, hey, that length of time you said it, so it's not going to happen. No, I take that away. Because you can hear people saying, well, you've said that over and over and over again. But no one understands how you may be feeling within inside yourself, because you're not supposed to have no doubts. You're not supposed to put any type of worry or stress there. You're supposed to just sit with it, because if you say you want to move somewhere else, you're just supposed to see that. You're not supposed to think how you're going to get the money. You're not supposed to think how you're going to get that really nice place. Just using an example. You're supposed to just say, yes, I'm moving, and I'm moving to a really nice, decent home. And you're not supposed to say, well, I don't know where it is, because life will lead you there some way, somehow. But all of this has to be understood within yourself, because that's where it all starts. It is an inner journey. So the micro concept steps helps you practice in order for your inner world to be more at peace, because without peace you cannot align with who you are. So I'm going to start this show as a very long introduction. Sorry about that. But I want to get you to understand a little bit more about micro concept steps and the believabilities in you. It doesn't matter how much times you say it. What it is if you're focused, if you're able to focus on it, and if you're able to believe that it's yours. And if not, how are you going to practice having it in your life today in order for you to be able to resonate and align with what you say you want in your life? Because a lot of people can make you feel, or yourself or your upbringing, which is no one's and anyone's fault. I do not blame anyone, but it's the environment and your reality and other people's way of speaking that you're digesting and growing up and becoming the same. So some way, if you want a better way of living, some people are better than it more than others, and they will adamantly say, yeah, they're going to live like that, and they just know that's the life because it looks good for them, and they're going to just have it. Doesn't matter what environment they've been brought up in. You can't change their mind in saying, I'm going to be that girl. Or They were that girl at school, so it was easier for them if they were popular. But if you wasn't that type of person to say, yes, you can have such and such, whatever it is, you're going to have to practice. Because your present reality may be making you feel down. Like my home, I literally am just done. I've got to love it, though. It's because it's just not for me no more. But I've got to love it, and I've got to pretend that I'm living. Because why? It's got so much going on in it, and I cannot organise it. I've tried to organise this house so many times. I've got so much different areas, need new storage, but I just don't feel inspired by this place. But at the same time, I have to say I love it and call it my penthouse and really keep my vibes up until I get that shift to this new place, because I have to believe that it's going to happen, and I can't let the past in because it's stopping the new place coming. I've got to make changes. I've got to practice every single day. Right? So let me start with a visualization. I'm going to turn away because this is about relaxation, relaxing us, understanding ourselves, being good to ourselves. And don't go around judging other people as well, because that can stop your manifestation as well, and gossiping and what have you. Yeah, because you're still manifesting or aligning or materializing, whatever you want to call it. You can call it anything you want, because some people are funny with the word manifesting, but you can call it what you want, or bringing into your life what is rightfully yours, what you feel is good for your life, what you feel is going to make your life happier. Sometimes it can be hard if you're practicing. Like I practice stretching, stop and start. I got to get my body strong because I put on weight. So it's not always easy what you want to transition into. Sometimes you have to be disciplined and patient with yourself. And gratitude is very important along this journey also. So let's close our eyes if you want to. If not, focus on an area that's most pleasing to you. Okay? So we're stepping into your future identity. Okay? So before we begin today, I'd like us to take a few moments to just slow down together. That feels nice, doesn't it? Allow your body to settle. Relax your shoulders. Soften your jaw. And if it feels comfortable, gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. Whatever feels comfortable. Take a slow breath in. And gently breathe out. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. Let your breathing become natural. Pause. Now imagine a version of yourself. Not perfect, but evolving. The woman you are becoming. Notice how she carries herself. There may be a sense of calm, a sense of self-trust, a quiet confidence. She doesn't rush. She doesn't force. She simply moves with intention. pause. Now notice something important. She is not far away. She is not a completely different person. She's simply you with practice habits. Every small action you take, every small decision is shaping you into her. Take a slow breath in. And as you breathe out, imagine stepping slightly closer to that version of yourself. Not all at once, just one step. And as we begin today's conversation, allow yourself to stay open, curious, and willing to take small steps towards who you are becoming. When you're ready, gently bring your awareness back and we'll begin. Welcome. So hello everyone, welcome back to the Become Her series. I'm very glad that you're here, obviously. Last week we explored something very important, your inner narrative, the way you speak to yourself and how that shapes your reality. And today we're going to be building on that, which will be fantastic for us, because once we begin to shift how we think, the next step is to look at how we show up. So today we're talking about identity alignment, how the small things you do every day quietly shapes the woman you become. And this is what self-concept steps are all about. Because at the end of the day, we didn't understand it was about the steps. We was shown the whole picture. Just get that done. And that's when you're successful. But every step is successful. Imagine you seeing every step as successful. You're not going to be tearing yourself down at all within and second guessing yourself and doubting yourself. And then a lot of people around will understand the truth as well. Every step matters. Building is always building something. Understanding your journey and why it's there. And sometimes it can be difficult if you started late, not no fault of your own, and then you might feel like you're catching up. I feel like that, especially with this house and travel. Yes, I've travelled before, but these are the areas I really, and social media, to be paid on here. These are the areas I really, really wanted it, because you know why? I saw the bliss of it. I saw the excitement of it. I saw that my life would be really nice like this. That's the only reason why I wanted it in my life, because I saw the happiness that I would have. I didn't do it for any other reason, because happiness is my first priority. And more freedom but I didn't know how to feel within, because I didn't have the understanding of micro concept steps 8 years ago, because I was programmed differently then to not believe in the greatness that I can have. It just wasn't conditioned. It was conditioned to live a limiting life. And you're never going to understand it for yourself until you understand the direction you want to take. So you have to start somewhere. Okay? So let's look at what is identity. I'll be reading off my notes as always. I have to keep the structure. I would say it every single time. But you will understand that once you have structure in your life, everything is going to change. So identity is the way you see yourself. Not anyone else, not me sitting here and what I'm doing and how I'm doing things. No, because you don't want to condition yourself into me. So you are here for yourself today. So notebook and paper or journal, anything you want to use and put the heading self-concept steps and write some notes. For yourself, this is all about you. So you zone in on yourself at all times. And how do you see yourself? I'll take a moment for you to maybe think about it or write it down. So let me move forward. You can do this later for yourself as well. So you can write that down, how you see yourself. So you can write identity. Identity is the way you see yourself, because that will help you to realize what you're really zoning in and looking at. So it's the internal statement of, this is who I am. So you have to zone in, not who you are today. If it's not pleasing to you, because you wouldn't be here if your life was pleasing to you. You write down exactly how you want to be. Because it has to be internalized eventually. So this is who I am. And it often sounds like, I'm confident, I'm shy, I'm disciplined, I struggle with consistency. That's where you're maybe at today. Now here's the important part. Most people think identity is fixed, but it's not. Identity is often built from repeated behavior. So this is why we're here to do the concept practices, the concept steps as well, because the steps have to be built up into the new her, to remember her. I say remember her because becoming her, you might be seeing yourself away from yourself if you say become her. So that's why I say remembering her as well, because you know that you've been wired the wrong way if you are not living the dream that you wanted to live, because we're all supposed to have it. Because if I don't speak to you this way, then you're going to think of your old self all of the time. And I want you to see your new self, and I want you to see that new self in your past. Like I said, when I was a child, you will always would have said something. You might want it to be a famous, a expert skater or Olympic runner or a high gymnastic. Every one of us has wanted to live a life that was this word successful, because I'm looking to see within myself how I can explain this to you. And I know every one of us had a higher understanding of ourselves, but we just didn't push forward. Because I didn't get to my stages or my training as a singer when I was younger. I still push for it today. This is the only example I can use, because that's really was my top priority for me to live. And everyone knows how some singers can live, not all, because they're not living their higher self either, because they're not doing their micro concept steps, because the steps are important. Everybody wants the so-called, would you call it rich result? Like if it's you've got the car, that's the trophy for you. But saving up for it, or let's go back more, looking at the pictures of it, and then figuring out how you're going to put the money together over years. Maybe this might be it, I don't know, is not seen as the successful steps. It is. You have to understand this, because if you can't see the successful steps today, you're just going to be putting yourself down. It's dangerous to do that. There's no point in saying to yourself, I'm looking for this life, but I'm going to be nasty about all of the, I'll say steps again, I have to take in order for me to get it. When you get it, how are you going to be feeling? Oh, it will make you feel happy when you've got it, but you didn't enjoy the process. So that means you really didn't want it. You didn't get it for the right reasons. So what are the steps that you need to take in order for you to feel excited? Who told you that that life that you're living is not exciting? A lot of people like to speak like this and compare. It's too many people. It's a humongous issue in this world. So some way, somehow, we have to try and make this exciting for ourselves and take away basically all of the lies people say, because it's your identity. You're realizing it again. If you didn't realize it as a child, or you're realizing something new, you might want to learn AI. That's another example. It's just come out. But I believe we always had advanced technologies. I just think that the wrong people got into positions that they shouldn't have, and they brought their misery to who they felt they were leading. So you have to keep your identity intact regardless of who you're around. I want to get into the meat of it, but I'm going to build myself up on each live. Yeah, because it's a slow process for me, because I'm not rushing it. A lot of people always want people to rush because of age as well. But what if we could live a lot longer? No one really sees into these types of ways of being. We're always looking into what we have in the world today. What if inventors thought like that? But we just leave it to them, and we'll just get on with what we're seeing every single day. So when it comes to your identity work, really look at the areas that could have been hidden. A lot of me got hidden because, like you said, if I'm going to be trained to make these every day for my hair, to put around my hair, and I was trained to make these, that's all I'm going to know. But I had the dream, I didn't give up on it, that I'm music. Even though people kept telling me no, I use this example all of the time because it's a prime example. I said no, I'm going to carry on no matter the age. Still, because it keeps coming up. But I still have to recognise her still to this day. And people would say, oh my gosh, why are you still carrying on? I wonder. I'm going to the studio next week for 2 hours. I'm going to practice my song when I come off of here as well. I've got 2 songs to practice. I'm learning how to do music production. So you're going to have traits and attributes, characteristics that may be here, there, and you're going to have to piece them all together and get an identity book so you understand what identity is, because identity is humongously important to understand. I do coaching to help people realise themselves, and I'm not on no rush job, because I begin to understand so much people are rushing for something and then it's just not worth it. It's not worth your health. It's not worth the fact that you're just going to feel down and stressed out and depressed. And you can have it all, but if you haven't worked on seeing your identity, your thought systems that are in place within you, you're not really going to form you, her. You're not really going to have her in your environment. You will aimlessly be running around doing things in your life, and you won't be living in her, I'm going to say, reality. So that means you're really not present with yourself. And you need to be present with yourself. Like I said, this house, it doesn't feel like I'm living here, because I know it's not who I am. But the past was not the way I wanted to live. And I remember trying to live my life, and so much people got in the way of it. And no matter what I did to try and get to this life, because you've got to look at resources, you've got to look at the money, you've got to look at your caregivers. So what I did in order to live this dream, I would listen to music all of the time. I always loved my music, so I buy music. I bought myself a nice stereo. I'd always visualise myself singing on stage. So anything I could do to live this life, I lived it. And I felt it within me. I never really thought about it outwardly, because I was told I wasn't allowed. So I didn't realise I was listening to these people. Because if I realised, then I would have found my stages. But what I'm saying to you is, you have to be aware of your identity. So this is why you need to write it down. And you're going to do it more than once, because I've had to go over it, see what traits I need. Like, I was walking around this house today. I love this house, don't get me wrong, I talk about this house a lot. But what it is, because I'm just using it as an example. Every time I speak about it, it's an example. So I'm always feeling chaotic. I've always got thoughts of other people in my mind, and it just gets on my nerves. So I said today, right, that is it. I've got to work on this because I don't want to be going from room to room and I've got other thoughts in my head that are not of myself. And I know why they're there. It's because I'm concerned, and because again, as a coach, I'm not just like a singer. I'm a coach as well. I even coach music, so I'm always taking on other people because I like helping people. So I always seem to be taking on their identity in order to push them forward. So I noticed that today and I said, okay, this is why I am not manifesting a lot of my own life, because this is the past self that has done this, because I've always been a person that probably has been trained to help others more than myself. So it's something I have to rewire myself in and get out of. And people might see this as too much work, but this is why I'm here and this is why I take the time out. And you can hire yourself a coach or a mentor, one-on-ones, or buy some digital products. There's plenty of digital products out there that can support you. But you have to undo the outdated. Now, my new lifestyle is about me. The next 10 years has to be about me. Only me now. I've brought up my children. I've helped a lot of people. I'll still do the coaching and what have you. I'll do my lives and that. But I want to be more self-centered. I want to think about me. I like doing pictures. I like doing modelling pictures as well. That came up yesterday. I've got so out of practice. I want to focus on my stretching. I need to get to another level. I said I want to do splits long time ago. I'm not even anywhere near it, but I'm still adamant I'm going to get to these splits. Because I'm not focused. My mind is still focused on others. I cannot be doing that at all. I don't want no thoughts on anybody else anymore, unless it's my partners sometimes, and that is not going to be on a regular basis either, because the more I can zone in on myself is the more I can be stronger for everybody else around me. So that's what you have to do for yourself, because you'll be able to bring more value to the people around you. So this is what identity work is about in order for you to manifest. Seeing yourself. A lot of us have been far too conditioned to do for other people. This is your life. Live it the way you want it. Bring in what you want for yourself. Because no one else is going to be caring about you as much. So why would we care about them more than we care about ourselves? Self-love. And when you're strong enough and you're in a better position, I'm not saying you're going to give up yourself to help people, but you'll probably have something in position where naturally it will be given. Because the more you get, the more you've got around you anyway that people can just come into, and it's just self-sufficient where whatever's going on. But if you're in a place where you're just not comfortable and you're still thinking of other people instead of your dreams, your aspirations, still to this day, or you're putting the children up there. I done that. My kids, it was because it was conditioned in me to just take care of my children 24/7, and I don't have no regrets, but I could have done it differently. So it's not a selfish situation. It's just for betterment. I'm going to say yourself. I'm not even going to say for everyone else around you. For yourself. Okay? So know who you are. Who am I? So identity is not just something you believe. Okay, it's something you practice. You have to practice yourself. It's nice to practice her. And don't put everything else in the way. That's what I said. Don't put other people everywhere. And don't be helping everyone else. If that's not your practice. If that's your practice, fine. But I don't think that is something as to becoming her, helping other people. I think that is literally you giving to other people and not to yourself. So that can't be your practice. Your practice has to be something that you're giving to yourself. You're creating her. We need more hers. Okay. So I want to go on to the science of self-perception. Yes. And it's a concept, a psychological one, called self-perception therapy, which is nice. Perception. We need to know it and understand. And it suggests something very interesting. We didn't just act based on who we are. We also became who we are on how we act. So your brain watches your behavior all of the time as well, because it wants to know how to act. And then it creates an identity to match it. For example, I'll give you this. If you consistently show up for yourself, your brain will believe you. Also, I'm someone who follows through. So that's what your brain will be seeing. If you avoid things, your brain will end up believing all of this. And it will become a part of you. I'm someone who struggles. This is a deep one with a lot of people because it's been conditioned in us. The life that we live in, it looks like a struggle because you might be comparing yourself to someone else. And this one has to be undone in order for richness to flow within you, in order for you to have more richness in your life. Because a lot of us are living in survival mode because the inner self is not wired properly. So what evidence are you giving yourself every day? So this is why we practice. Don't worry about it. You can write it down. It's not like anything to worry about. Don't feel, oh no, it's like this, it's like this. No, because if you ruminate on that, obviously, as you've just heard, you're going to keep going over that, and your self-perception is going to say, hey, this is who she is. And it can be so exciting now because you now know you can write down her, how you want her, and practice until she becomes her. But it's a work in making, and it's fine. Like I said, my eating habit's always out the window, but I have to take it more seriously because I don't keep my word because that's ingrained in me. Why? Because of habits that I've got, eating habits. I've been looking all different ways and how not to eat when I go outside because I don't want the food, but as soon as I go out, I see a restaurant in my head. And I've been trying to take the restaurant out, but it stays stuck there and it's adamant it wants to go there. But I'm not meant to go there at all. Still working on it. And then I say to myself, I'm very disappointed with myself. And then I have to change it quickly and say, no, don't say that because you're just going to put yourself in a downward spiral. You've got to get in a position where you don't think it. Now, I know I've got to find a way to take that restaurant out my head because I keep it there. I don't allow it to go because now I've convinced myself, yes, this is what I want to do, as I've seen that restaurant in my head. And I know I can take it away, but I've allowed it to brainwash me. But I know it's no good for me no more. So that's me not self-loving myself. Okay? And this is what happens. So what are the benefits of you stopping? And I know this because this is one area of me where I'm self-sabotaging, because it has to stop me eating in these junk food places. So that's me not loving myself. Okay. So sometimes we will still keep doing some stuff. We say we really, really want something, and we do really, really want it, but we're allowing the mind to hurt us. And it is common among many, because that image is convincing you that that food tastes nice. This is just an example I'm using, and it's real life for me as well. Because it's so conditioned. But I've got to upgrade my life, so to speak. If I really, really want it, because I know, but this is what you have to practice. You have to keep seeing that this is going to be of a benefit for my life. Because a lot of people, for example, might say, oh, I want the £100,000 in the bank account. Once I've got that, then I can make every bit of change in my life. And yes, you can go on the holidays, you can go and stay in the hotel, you can do a lot more. You can go and invest in the business you want to invest in. But if you're in a lifestyle that it's just mundane and every day it's the same, like sometimes I wake up and it just feels like the same old pattern every single day, and I've got to do this, and it's just not as exciting as it used to be, because the priorities of my life is upgrade to another house, upgrade on social media, upgrade to travel freely as I want. But it wasn't prioritized, because I wasn't feeling like I was good enough, because of situations that happened to me in the past, being around other people that just didn't feel good enough, and it rubbed off on me. So then you cannot surround yourself in the excellence that you want to be in if you're around people that are saying go this way because they truly believe that way, and that way is not rich enough. When I mean rich enough, it's not enhanced enough where I can be more free, where I can get to places that is going to benefit me. Like when it comes to healthy eating, where I live hardly anything where it comes to healthy eating. So I know I'm subjected to one place here in my home to cook. Or I can go to Marks and Spencer. That's it. I cannot go to any restaurants. That's no freedom there for me. With what I eat, that is, each to their own, because I've made this decision for myself. So I'm not telling anyone else to do this. This is me. This is the life I want to live. I only want to eat fruit and veg. So this is what I'm saying. In life, you can want things, but you have to understand this is your limits. And it might not feel comfortable to you, because you might feel restricted. But I adamantly, and I know this is all I can eat, and this is all I want to eat. I don't want to eat nothing else, because it's not a part of my health and wellness regime. Because I know the food, because I'm into health and wellness big time, it's not good for my body. That's what I understand for myself. And as I've got older, and as I listen to other people online that are purely plant-based, they cook, they exercise, they've got their own community and audience, they do coaching, but they are more freer within themselves, that they might be able to hire cooks because they are already popular because of the transitions that they've made, and they're able to help other people that find it hard to help themselves. and then they can have more time to experiment and learn new recipes. I'm not in that position where I can get all of the tools that I need, constantly buy the plant-based food. My kitchen, I need to be in the right position. So this is everything you have to practice, because this is what I'm doing. What I'm speaking about, this is what I do. I practice. And I see myself in a different kitchen, because I know I need a different kitchen. I've only got a little side part to do my cooking. It's not enough. I need to learn new recipes. I'm looking at a holistic course. So I'm constantly transitioning. I even see a garden that I want to be in, making my different herbs, because I want to do a herbalist course. So I'm giving you some examples of the before and the after. So I'm still here. Yes, I've improved, but I revert backwards because the limitations. So I have to find a way. Yes, I can go online and look at plant-based food all day long, but I still have to sort the cupboard out, get all the foods in, and the way I'm looking at it is I'm going to so many different shops all of the time. It's a life that I have to live, but I've got other things to do as well. I can't just be cooking. And then I'm seeing that, okay, this takes up so much time of my life. I got to find time slot because I do my music, I do my lives, I have to put my material together. I do a web page, I do events. It's a lot of things, but I know I have to structure this. So you have to understand this is what happens for you to get from A to B. And yes, where I'm at, what I've just said, yes, what did I say? I'm not consistent, and sometimes I don't keep my word. So I have to look at, I haven't really had the chance to look at that one, why I don't keep my word, because that's something that has to go. Once upon a time, I used to be very good at keeping my word, but in the past, because of situations where is life just caught up with me in the way that I just can't explain, because too much negative things was happening to me. So you end up reverting backwards, where my way of being got retrained by others that just wasn't living my type of routine. So I'm not blaming these people, because I didn't know it was going to happen. But what I'm saying is I ended up picking up a lot of bad habits. And it was very unlike me to not keep my word, especially when it's sabotaging me and not helping me, it's hindering me. And especially going to places that I know when I go there to the restaurant, it's not healthy here, but it's got conditioned, and it's a bad habit. It's a thought pattern, and it's controlling me. No, it cannot be doing that. So I have to look at this now. I have to look at why I'm not keeping my word. So it's temptation. So how do I get rid of this temptation? Because the temptation looks so appealing, more than me taking care of myself. So what do I need to do now? How am I going to take care of myself more? These are the questions that will come. So this is my practice. This is what I do. I need to surround myself with health and wellness. Looking on social media is not actually helping me. So I'm going to have to look at another area, because that's what I normally do to get the help. And it helps me in quick fixes. So it helps me for a little while. And then all of a sudden I revert back very badly to the junk. And I always say, this is so unlike me. But I can see that it's a pattern that needs to be broken. So I have to look in another direction. So you see all the length of time I've been speaking. This is what you have to do for yourself in those areas. So this is your micro self-concept steps. So I have to look at new steps. The old way of me doing it is not working. So I have to bring a new way in order for it to work. Because I have to give a damn about myself. It's just not good enough the way I see it. And you have to take the time out. The practicing will make the changes. People say, well, you say such and such. And sometimes I feel like that myself. But it has to change. This situation I'm talking about. No matter how many times I go back to make it change. Okay? And this is what you have to do. Because sometimes the changes, it's not that it's uncomfortable, it's just that the environment that you're in, we are allowing it to continuously stay. It's okay for it to change. You got to feel like what it is like. But if the old self is talking to you, it will always win. So you have to bring in a new reality. So this is what I have to do. I've got to bring in a new image. I haven't worked on it yet. Because I thought, yeah, it would just change just like that. So this is what the self-concept practice steps is. And I'm going to take the steps now for it. So I have to look for the new steps. So this is why I write it down. So what next step am I going to take? I've got to look at healthy foods more. So what sort of steps I'm going to take when I go outside? If I get a thought, because I only can do this of a restaurant, ignore it. So I've got to work on my mindset. I have to ignore it. I cannot let it lead me. Because every single time I see that restaurant, it leads me. And I thought I could just ignore it. I'm not going to allow a thought, an image of a restaurant to control me anymore. So I have to be strong and say no. So I hope you're getting the answers and the evidence of what is creating your identity. And why you're not materializing and manifesting what you want. Because you're just going to keep getting the same in what you see. And you can be strong for yourself if you truly, truly want a change. But it is about awareness. The more you're aware of it, because I know I need to work on my mindset more to see healthy foods. And the more I work on it in my mind, the more the healthy foods will win. So it's a mindset issue I've got. Okay. So I hope you're getting it. So now I'm going to go on to micro identity evidence. So this is where micro concept work comes in. So because you don't, I'm doing a little bit about the work today, because you don't need to change everything, you just need to create small pieces of evidence. I've just given you small pieces of evidence of what I'm going to do with my food. Just image more healthy food all of the time, however I possibly can. And that will transition me. But I've got to keep imaging healthy foods. So I'm probably going to do that every single day. That will become a part of my imaging. Like if I go on to TikTok, I'm just scrolling, just watching anybody. Now I've got to start putting myself in some order, say, you know, and putting boundaries there to say, no, I'm not watching anybody anymore. I'm going to watch, this is my section, so I'm going to write it down for healthy foods every day, because I know I've got to recondition my mind. Okay, so you just need to create small pieces of evidence. That's one piece of evidence there. I'm going to be looking at healthy foods every day. every single day. Pinterest is easy enough for me. Don't need to overcomplicate it. And then more than likely the next steps I would take is go stick up these healthy food. If I have to put it all around the house, I'm going to do that, basically. So this is called micro identity evidence. So you please write that down as well, because it will help you writing this down and seeing it again and again. So small actions that support who you are becoming, and you'll feel happy for that. Okay, if you want to become confident, So your micro evidence might be speaking once, sharing an opinion, showing up even if it feels uncomfortable. So if you want to become disciplined, it's like basically not discipline, but discipline might feel too hard. But discipline is basically the word where you're coming out of the mind controlling you and telling you what to do, basically. So you got to be disciplined and say, hey, well, I'm going to do this in order to change this, because it's for the betterment for me. So that's why it's discipline, because I know what I've gone through with the eating. It's like, no, come on now, So your micro evidence might be doing one small task, keeping one promise to yourself. Like I said, with the promises, if you revert backwards, then you're going to really have to just focus on that, even if it's for a month. And that's the only way you're going to keep your promises. If you're not focused on it, you can't just, because I'm saying I didn't think I had to do any work on it all this time, because I thought I'd done enough. What I was doing with the eating, I'm using it as an example as well, was just looking at recipes and cooking it, and I thought that was enough. I had no idea that my mind was brainwashed. Okay, so it's you got to do the small, keep the promises. If you revert back, you're gonna have to find a way to take away the brainwash. That's what it is. So these are small, but they matter. Yes, every day, small steps. Like I said, every day I'm going to be looking at healthy foods every day and sticking up these pictures. And I will see, eventually I will see changes, because I got to the point where I said I'm eating just plant-based, and it was there. And I remember one time, and do you know what it was as well? I was at the city centre, and there was a picture up of chicken wings. Advertisement is another thing. Zoned in my head. And it sparked up in my head. And it's not like me to be like this. And it controlled me. So the advertisement as well. And I've got to be open and honest about this. Because I was a person, no, never, ever, ever do this to myself. So I've got to rewire the mind. And just remember that. Small steps to rewire who you want to become. Because remember, why I'm going on about this, because some people just give up and just eat. I've come across many people that just give up, because for them it's too grueling. But if you really want the transition, you're not going to give up on yourself. No matter how many times the old self convinces you to stay there. I don't give up on myself. No matter, I've got to transition, got to change it. You do your talk, you talk to somebody. Talking helps as well, makes you really aware. Don't feel ashamed. That's why I like to talk, have groups. I don't think no one should feel ashamed of themselves. It is what it is. It's just that if we had more support groups around it, where everyone was encouraging themselves, I'm using eating as an example again, then we would be fine. And then your friends doing it, or your family members doing it, and you're close, then everyone will be doing it. And then you ring up the phone and say, hey, what you eating today? And they'll be talking about the healthy eating. I know none of my family hardly eat healthily, so it's not easy for me. Next week they want to go to my auntie's birthday party, and they're going to a restaurant again. And I hardly can go out, but it's something I want. I don't want to eat the junk no more. So I don't care about being among people. That's how important it is to me. Okay, so this is what you have to see for yourself. Like, some people are just like, no, I'm going to run with the pack. And at the end of the day, I do what they do. But literally, what life? If you really want that life that you want, it'd be okay. Because once you've got out the brainwash, or you've got into the new life, people might want to come your way. And I don't mind, me. So you're telling your brain what you want every day. It might not be lonely for you, and it might be lonely for you, but you make the choices. It's way worth it, I'm telling you. So now, the power of repetition, because I'm going on long today. So one action doesn't change identity, but repetition does. So that's what's exciting. Every time you repeat a behavior, you strengthen that identity. So be careful what behaviors you're repeating. Okay? Just sit with that for a while and see it. So every time you repeat a behavior, so what are your behaviors? This is just things you have to look at. Writing it down. You may not be aware of it, but talking to someone about it helps. And when you talk to them, you can write it down. Because sometimes these behaviors, you cannot see them as you're walking around. It's just as it is. That's why it's good to hire a coach. You can hire me if you want. But I haven't got my one-on-one Instagram page up yet. Because I will be taking a few clients. Not many. There's only a few spots I'm going to have. So you can go on my Instagram page and you can message me. But I haven't advertised for it. Because you do need a coach to make you see sometimes. Or if you can do it yourself and write it down, be honest with yourself. You're not being negative. These are the behaviors that you want to change. What do you want to pick up? You might see someone that is where you want to be, and you want to pick up their characteristics. That's what you want inside of you. Write it down. Say it every single day. Because you want to get out of the old self. Because it's going to be worth it. You strengthen that identity. So look up a book about identity so you understand identity, because you don't want it to be strengthened in you. I know a lot of things have been put in me because these people believe that their way was fine, and I went on and went on at them, and I didn't feel bad, but I did feel bad because they realized that they weren't doing things the way they should for others to be looking at them. And I don't like to criticize anybody, but it's about well-being, health and well-being, and making sure we're living our best life. So if we can all do that together, and being aware that no one's trying to be nasty, then it will be helpful. We are all on this journey together to help through. Yes, it's the transitions. I've met many people, I go through myself, that it feels like the end of the world when you have to change something. But if we can do it together, it will be easier. Okay? So it's not about something perfectly when you're doing your steps. It's not about that. It's about doing something consistently. Small actions. Repeat it over time, okay? So that's how identity shifts. And be patient with yourself, because a lot of us are not patient because we might be feeling like we're crap today. And that's why it's hard to be patient, because the old self, when that old self is saying crap, 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 it keeps you there. You can't afford for that. You got to see the higher self every day. You got to take that time out to do the work. Concept work. I'm talking about concept work now, not steps. And this is how you begin becoming her. And the more you see the results work, the more confident you will be. Because like I said, my goal is I just don't want to eat no more junk at all. I've got to figure it out. It has to happen when I go out there. I'm not happy with myself. And I cannot be not happy with myself, because it's not good to not be happy with yourself. But at the same time, I would love to be able to talk to people about it. I don't have anyone to talk to about it. There's an area in my life I'd never believed I would be weak in. And it's something so simple. How can I be so into go? Like my son comes around and said, let's go restaurant. No, it's just not. It's so out of character for me. So this is what can happen to you. Exercise. I'm into exercising. Why? It's there. It don't make no sense to me. So it's been rewired. I've rewired myself to do this. Exercise is more important to me. Health and wellness is more important to me. But I need to be living it fully. So remember this about yourself. Keep going. Find ways to get there. It has to happen. It's just not important to me for me to be sitting down. These places are not supporting my life. I don't want this life. Say if I go on social media and I'm seeing all these people, yeah, they're freely eating and what have you, yeah, but this is what's out there. So I've got to figure out, I need a spot I can go to. Now I want a studio, not a music studio, but a studio with all different areas. I don't want to talk about. So I've seen it. I've seen it for years, where I can come from this house to another place, where I've got a base I can go to, so to speak. Yes? Because we all know it's not normal to not go and eat out. Nobody would be thinking like that. I wish there was more healthy places for people that want to eat healthy. There's not. So when it comes to a situation where it's this, I'm just using this as an example, because it could be a number of things that you don't know how to become her in. Because a lot of people give up with the work as well, because they forget about it, because the old self is still there. That's why I said this is about micro concept work. This is a little section on it. So you have to understand that the old self is still here. But you still have to remember who you want to become. And yes, it might have taken a long length of time for some of you, which it has in areas for me. In some areas, not all areas. And you still have to do the work, because there's something there that has not shifted yet. Because you've not spent enough time on that area. Because I've known with houses, I'm going to go back to the houses, you just go and get the house. You save the money and you go and you buy it, or you go and rent it. No, but that's not steps. Nobody's shown me the steps. They show me the steps of, yeah, you save the money, work hard, or you've got an opportunity. But where's the steps? The steps weren't there as a child of me being the singer, and when I'm such an age, I've got money from my music. So what is the steps for me to get this house today? I know I'm not going to go into my steps, but those steps didn't work out. But I've got to see those steps that I should have been looking at, because I've been told, no, you cannot have that. When someone says you cannot have that reality, you need that for your money, because they think that is too successful. But that's for me to pay my bloody bills. That's for me to live a decent life, not a drudgery life where I can't even pay my bills. So if you're when I'm talking about her, you're transitioning to her. You're not just transitioning for mediocre. You have to transition to make sure you can take care of yourself adequately. And this is exactly how we should have all been talking, us women, for ourselves and the children, together. No keeping secrets and you have that and you don't have that. Some have and some don't. So this is why I'm doing her, becoming her, Diva Glitz. So we can celebrate each other and support each other. Yes, we're here today and it might not be so pleasing to you, but we're not here to say, oh yeah, you've said that 100 million times and it's not happened. Obviously, we need help with the steps. Why not help each other out? Because you want to ridicule and laugh. What's the point of doing that to another woman? Help her out. So you're not in your best self, but you have to say it's your best self still today. You have to believe in yourself. Even if you're not feeling well, you can be well. But you just need someone to see it and help you see it. And if you can see it for yourself every single day, because it might not be so pleasing, the environment that you're in today, no matter what it may be. I understand that. You've spoken about it. I understand people trying to manifest. Online, people are always talking about manifestation and they're showing their manifestation results. How does a person feel that wants that life as well? It's all right to have that life too. How do they feel? That is so far away from them. But you may not be able to have the identical life, no, but you can have an improved life. Let's all work together to have that. We have to do the work. This is why I come on here, to speak about it. Let other people know about Diva Glitz lifestyle channel, because I will be coming on here every week to speak about this. And I want to grow this micro concept, steps, stroke work section, because it's very humongously important, because I know urgently I've needed some things in life and there's no one there to help me fill those gaps. Because we are, and then people have made me feel like, well, no, you're supposed to do absolutely everything by yourself. No, it doesn't work like that. We wasn't born by ourselves on this earth. Don't turn the other cheek and turn the other shoulder and say, hey, look at me, and watch another woman suffer. I say this every single time. We cannot do this alone. We're all going through things. We all want changes. Don't laugh and snigger at another woman and feel happy for her downfall. That's so wicked. I've met far too many people like that. That's not how it's supposed to be. Because in the end, you're planting those seeds in your own self to become a part of your identity eventually. And then you're planting it in the woman in front of you. So we need to make sure we are coming from a place where it may not be who you are and what you're doing, and at the same time you just encourage each other's differences as well. All right. And what we're trying to change into. It's all about what you're trying to change into. It's not about what you've achieved, really. Yeah, we can celebrate it, but if it's making another person feel less, then it's best to just leave it alone, because we're here to strengthen each other's um, self-sabotages, where it's not helping them, it's hindering them. It's about improving each other's life for betterment, for her and the children, and for her to have, a nice home, be able to go on holiday at least 3 times a week. I mean, 3 times a year. To be able to, I can't drive, and I never will drive because it was too late for me, because my mind was constantly getting depressed. And I thought about it yesterday, if I'm going to go back and do driving lessons, and I said no, I'm going to leave it. And then I was saying to myself, how are you going to get around? I said, I'm just going to get people to drive me, like if I have to get Ubers, or my son or my daughter to drive me. And I even thought about hiring a driver. So this is the way I'm thinking, because I'm saying my mind back in the days just couldn't pick up driving, because I went through a lot of mind control growing up. So I just didn't believe in myself, even with driving. And so every time I got in the car, I just felt so low. I'd come home and I'd feel so depressed. It was unbelievable. So that was something that I would have need help with via some type of coach or mentor, or someone to just really enforce me seeing delight with the driving and not feeling stressed out every time I get in the car, because it's like there's a lot going on out there. When I'm in the car with my son, every time someone's trying to cut him up 24/7 and speed riding with him, and it's always something out there. So I can't take on, I'm very vulnerable to stress. I'm like a peaceful person. I like health and wellness and peace. I'm very, very highly into that. So, taking on any type of road rage people every second, no, it's just not for me. So I know the betterment is travel for me. I'm really just letting you into my secrets. A lot of the time I didn't like talking about my secrets, because I just feel people just like to jump on what they think people are weak in. It's not that. It's not. I'm not weak. It's just that it needs to be practiced more. It's like you've been taught that you've got the money, and then people are just talking about their experiences, and then I have to figure out, which is fine, I have to figure out me, why I, for example, haven't been travelling, why I've not been focused on it, because I haven't been focused on it. It's once you focus and then you look at it and see the benefits of it, and it's in my mind a lot more, because I'm going away on the 5th with my children, and I can see myself going away again. So now the mind has rewired to travel. So I know it's going to be, I saw a dream yesterday. I saw myself traveling on a regular basis, and that's where it starts. It starts in the mind. It's time now. It's something, it's just telling me I had a dream, and it was saying me it's time now. Why it's now, I don't know. So, it wasn't my priority. My social media was. I had music in my mind. I was doing videos a lot, and that's what I loved. And I was doing fashion shots and video, and I was building upon something. I don't want to talk about it too much. That's why I'm starting. So, and I can't really go into it too much. I feel like in the future I will go into what I'm doing, because I'm still working on something. But for me, it's my own personal information, And it's interesting. I know in the future it's going to benefit a lot of people, what I've done. But I could have made it easier on myself at the same time. But that's not the life I was taught. I was taught that life is rough. Life is a struggle. And this is how it goes. Okay. You can't have much. But I was brought up that I was poor. So when you're brought up with that type of mentality, which is not true for any of us, none of us are poor, but the past has taught us lies and trained us to believe that low vibrational, and it's a dangerous place to be. And it's no one's fault but the people that stole us and when I say stole us, made us believe that they were rich and we were poor. And that is a humongous lie, and it's still very present. And the thing is, it's present because you have to undo the lies. So this is why no one should be put down for transitioning. And yes, you might be around people that just like to talk too much in a way that is not beneficial, and then they think they're leaders. But how are they leading? Are they leading in a way where they can help the internal state to change into her? Are you qualified to do that? I've trained. This is probably what my only care was. Like I said, I cared about people more than I cared about myself. This is what the problem is. This is why you have to realize who you are. Okay? In order for you to take care of yourself adequately. And just zone in on it. It can be very detailed. So, where am I on my note? I always miss it. So, can you look at your? I want to see where I got to. I didn't get so far up. Was we looking at repetition? One action doesn't change. So I've totally lost where I am in my note because I need to stay and stick here. So we're looking at reflection exercises now. This is where we're at now. Sorry. This is where I am in my notes. So I want to take a moment with me. So to complete this sentence, I want you to say, the woman I'm becoming is someone who takes your time. And it's fine. This is where I'm having to recondition myself. It's fine because I kept telling myself it should be like this, and that's reconditioning yourself. I should have had it. I saw everyone progressing on, I'm going to say, social media, and I wasn't progressing the way I saw myself progressing as well. And that's why it made me believe that I was behind and I wasn't good enough. And it's no one's fault on social media either. There's reasons for everything. Do you know what I mean? And I still show up on here and it's still the same results. But everything's for a reason. That's the way I look at it now. But I trained myself because I was doing it at the same time as everybody else. I saw how social media grew. Sorry, I put my lipstick on. Why not? Let you see the glam. Put the lipstick on and show up. So everybody was gaining and getting, and I wasn't. So it's going to have an effect on you, yes? And it did. It had a very big effect on me because I was doing it. I love creativity. I loved it all. I was so into it. I was buying all the everything you possibly can think of I was doing. And so it made me feel less of a person. And anybody would have stepped away from it because it hurt me. But had I stepped away from it, because it is my way I was seeing, my perception wasn't seeing me as her. Because I hadn't known about the self-concept, steps or work to practice her. I was doing it physically. This is why you can experience something, but you're still not living it. You're still not seeing your worth and your value and your identity. Because, again, the old self was there in saying, basically, you're not allowed to do this. And for reasons I don't want to go into, because there were some people around me that basically brainwashed me into thinking that, and I didn't realise it was happening to me, because they made me believe they were leaders, and they was leading me wickedly into crashing, basically. So be careful who's saying they're there for you when really they're not. So you have to do the work on your identity and see yourself. You cannot wait around for someone else to do that for you. You know, if people are seeing themselves in a certain light where some other people can't see whatever it may be, because they're told that they're maybe not good enough, or they're not clever enough, they're not anything that may have been taught to you that's too far-fetched, whatever it may be. Yes, it is a work in progression to say to yourself, yes, every day this is me, regardless of your current reality. That's what micro-self concept work is. So what one small action can I take this week that aligns with whatever it is that? And writing it down and remembering what that is, because like I said, you will go back to your old reality, and that reality will keep getting you moving in that reality. It happens all the time. It happens to me. So you can't, if you want something else, you can't stay in the same reality. It will convince you to stay there. So what one small action can I take this week that aligns with that? And that's for 1 week. So what is that? So I know I'm going to write down in my journals when I come off what I want this week. And I'll be looking at it for the whole week. I might write down about 3, 4, 5 things. Maximum would be 5. Because sometimes I do overdo it. So I know one is to Pinterest healthy eating photos. I'll just be looking at them this week. Secondly, I will be practicing my 2 songs this week, because I'll go in studio on Thursday. And thirdly, something to do with social media, how I'm going to practice and how I'm going to image it. So that's definitely 3 things I'm going to be doing this week. So it has to be the starting steps. I can tell you the second steps for my healthy eating. And that will be the second week. I will be printing photos. That's it, just printing them. And then the third week, might do a vision board, just giving you examples on the steps, vision board, and stick it up somewhere. But I feel I can see that I want to stick up these pictures, some on my front room wall, some in my back, wherever I go I want to see these pictures. Okay, so these are the stepping stones, so you practice them through the week, because if you practice it for a whole week, it's going to be repetition, isn't it? It's going to be consistency. You might have to do some things for a month to get it really ingrained in you. Okay? So it can't be 10 things. I suggest you, as a beginner, you start with 1, because I've been doing it for years. So this is why I do about 3. I'm going to do 3 out of what I've just told you. I'm not going to do 5. I think I'm just going to do 3. But I suggest you just do 1 as a beginner. Okay? So we're going to go on to real life integrations. I'm soon going to finish. This one's long today, but it's fine. It's all good. I've taken the time out for you all. This is very valuable information. And, you know, you're really not going to get this anywhere else. I know that because I've listened to a hell of a lot of videos that they just skim on it, or they're too scientific, or they just want to show off and look all fancy and rich already. but I'm giving you the step in a detailed way. It's very important that you get it like this, because at the end of the day, you're going to get some grand results. Okay, so real life integration, this is where we bring it into everyday life, and this is what everybody wants, isn't it? You don't need a perfect routine, you don't need to feel ready, you just need to begin practicing. Yes, that's what it's about. One small action repeated, that's how identity becomes real. So this week, if I go out, every single time I go out, just salads for the whole week. That's it. No changing my mind. Got to get out, change my mind. How I've got to look at that as well, because I should have my journal here, because I'm even getting ideas for myself. I'm not allowed to change my mind. So I've got to get out of this habit, because I could change my mind because it was a freedom for me once upon a time. That's what it was. I shouldn't have got involved with it. So that's another habit I've got to get out of, changing my mind. So I've got to look how. Maybe I'm probably going to do some research on how I can stop changing my mind. That would be good, because people think I'm lying, and I'm not. When I change my mind, it's not. It's just that it's become a part of my identity. But it's like I need to have self-respect for myself. If it's going to hurt me, I cannot be changing my mind in that area. Okay, so I'm going to close. As we close, because I just love talking to you all, as we close, I just want you to remember this. You are becoming her by waiting. Yes, you're becoming her by practicing. Write these down. Waiting, practicing. You're becoming her by waiting. You're becoming her by practicing, and through small actions, through consistency, because it's consistency that is going to get you the results in the areas that are most pleasing to you. Remember that. So you need to write these areas down and look at them every day. What are the consistent results you're looking for? Okay, through showing up even in small ways. Just remember this, small ways are fine. Even if it looks like, because I said with my social media, it looks like, and every day it looks like this to me. People are, I mean, the pages are never picking up my numbers. Right? So there's a reason for it as well. And I believe it's a good reason. I don't think it's a bad reason. Yes, so you cannot look at something that is not changing to maybe a bigger picture. It might not be for you. It might not be the direction you're supposed to take. It might be something else that you're supposed to do. Be okay with that. Because at the end of the day, it's all about appreciating the steps you are taking. We really have to get involved with this, because too much people are thinking of that there. I know it can really mash you up. Okay, because these people on YouTube, it's nice to watch them. They're there, but it doesn't mean they're any better off than you. Okay, because you have to enjoy your life today, and no comparing. But people are not taught this. Because it seems like we're really living in two realities, and we are not aligned with ourselves, because we're imaging other people too much that are in another reality to you. But if you wanted to live that life, you should have worked on it for yourself. And it is an inner journey as well. You have to see yourself as it. If you can't see yourself, don't bother. Then that's what happened with me. I was around people that constantly kept lying to me, and my past self wasn't trained up, because I kept getting lied to, like to say you're not good enough. And a lot of people do it. They want to use this, I call it mind control, because they want you to idolize them. and they always make out their life as better. They're the worst people to be around. If they can't, they don't know how to lift people, they don't know how to grow people. That's what the issue is. So it's best to stay away from them. So you need to, now I'm closing, like I said, through small actions, through consistency, through showing up even in small ways. Just do it for yourself, because every action you take is shaping the way you see yourself. Okay, so shape the life you create, because you shape it, you create it. Just write these things down. So next week we're going to explore something that supports all of this. So emotional regulation and energy we're going to be looking at. So it's important from what I've said today. You can go over this live again. Sorry, I came on early today. I came on at 5. And because becoming her is not just about what you do. It's about how you feel, how you support yourself, how you love yourself internally. And it's a work in progression. So I hope it's made sense what I've said. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you at next week's live. And I really want you to get what I'm saying, but I've been on this journey for some time, so I do understand it. Leave any comments down below, and I will be happy to respond back to you. And enjoy your rest of your Sunday. Like I said, this live will be on here, so you can go back and watch it. Whoever's just come on just now. Okay, thank you. Bye bye, and I'll see you next week Sunday between 5 and 7. I will be on. I haven't got a Pacific time because I cannot give a Pacific time, but like I said, the live is always up forever, so you won't miss out.